Welcome in, Virgos. I'm Marie at Indigo Earth, and I am here to do a general reading for you, our Earth sign Virgo. And welcome in, Cross Watchers. Please feel free to swap around the characters as need be throughout the reading. Time is fluid. Anytime that you come across this message and you were drawn into it was a time that you were meant to listen to it. Messages coming through should reflect a certain aspect of your current situation as well as an inner knowing. So take what fits. If it doesn't fit, don't try to make it fit. For those of you that this does resonate with, I will have an extended at the end of this video. I will dive deeper into the message for you, and we will explore the zodiac signs that come through in your reading. Remember, zodiac signs can be an intimate partner as well as background players, friends, family, relatives, associates, parents, children, blended families. So just keep that in the back of your mind as we go through the reading. And thank you for liking and subscribing to the channel. For those of you that are help supporting the channel to help it grow, it's very much appreciated and very much honored. So glad to have you here. Let's see where we go with you. We just had the new moon in Virgo last night. So Virgos, you should be extra electrified right now. Extra electrified in being thoughtful and helpful and a bit perfectionistic. But Virgos, you are the most wonderments of helping others. So let's see where we go with you today. This is for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. This is messages for those watching, please. Messages for Virgos. See that sun in there. It wants to come out. Messages in Virgo, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. Messages for those watching the video, please. Okay, ready? Overall theme or overall energy of the theme for the reading, Five of Pentacles. Could be feeling like you missed an opportunity here. Or it could just be feeling in a place of like being isolated right now. Your overall energy, the Knight of Pentacles. Kind of just going through the day-to-day kind of routines, one step at a time, being in the here and now, doing what you need to do. Nothing's really off and nothing's really on. So let's see what the situation is here. Six of Cups. This could have something to do with your family, parents, grandparents, maybe an extended parent or grandparent, aunt, uncle, but it has something to do with the past that has to do with your family. So let's see what your opportunity is here. Six of Swords. This could be physical movement. This could be, it's in search of a sense of kind of relief. Kind of getting things rolling. Kind of like shifting the environment. So let's see what that's about. What is the universe working on with you? Two of Swords. Maybe feeling like you're being pulled in directions that you don't want to be pulled in right now. Feeling like you're kind of like you're going through the day-to-day routines, but they're just things just don't seem to have meaning or relevance. And if this, some of you that are, you may be working with an elder parent. For some of you, you may be working with an elder parent. And it may take a lot of time and travel here. So let's see how you got here. We have the World. So cycle of life is coming through here. What's right around the corner for you? We have the King of Cups. This is really being in a place of compassion and empathy and understanding. This is kind of a global love. When the King of Cups comes up in a reading, it's kind of like a global love. It's not narrowed in on anything specific, but it's just kind of like, you know, a love for working with children, or a love for being a nurse, or a love for social service. Something that has to do on that energetic level. So let's see what's falling away. We have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So this really isn't, this is kind of a continuation. This isn't about a new beginning. This is kind of a continuation, an energy of continuation here. So let's see what the outside influence is. We have the Fool. It's like surrender. You're surrendering to something. So what's your next step? We have the Moon. There's more going on underneath the surface here than meets the eye. There's things you're dealing with right now that can't be seen in this 3D realm, with the naked eye. And then let's see what your future possibilities are. We have the Ten of Pentacles. So this is about your foundation. This is about things moving forward. I mean, from the looks of this right here, this looks about someone who's working with maybe taking care of an aging parent, or this could be a special needs child, or this could be this could just be too for others of you, healing the inner child, working with the inner child, having to go through a stage now of maturity. And I think it feels like this is an isolated incident. Like you feel like no one else is understanding this experience for you. I think you feel like it's something that you need to do. You know, you feel like you're being pulled. I mean, it's not that you wouldn't want to do it, but it just feels like it's kind of been placed in your sphere, and so now it's here for you to have to navigate your way through it. But I think it's bringing you to a different perspective here about life in general. The cycle of life, pretty much. So let's see what this is about, Virgo. This is kind of deep. This is deep, 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 deep. Clarify what the Six of Cups is for Virgo, please. We got the Nine of Swords. We got the Chariot. And we got the Five of Swords. Things are moving forward regardless of... there's no control here. Things are moving forward, or things are changing regardless. I think it's bringing you to a point where you're scared. Maybe this is something that you haven't dealt with before. You're kind of scared. You don't know what to do. Maybe you feel like this has been kind of thrust on you, but it's moving. It's not something you can stop and say stop. No, right? Like Father Time or Mother Time or whatever. But because it's going to happen. It's part of the cycle of life. Death and rebirth is part of a cycle of life. It's, you know, things that we have a hard time accepting, but it's part of the cycle of life. This could even be something about, you know, for some of you or others of you, this could be about maybe losing a pet that you've had your whole life. That just finally it was time to release and let go. Time for that pet to transition. For others of you, this is about maybe being with or taking care of or in a situation where the cycle of life is changing over now. And it is a very isolating experience. It is a very isolating experience. Because until you go through it, people can only understand something from the depth of their perception. And experiential knowing and knowledge is kind of what is emerging as a theme coming out of this post-COVID shutdown. Experiential knowing. It's not, it doesn't seem to be any more about the question of the experts knowing everything, or the questioning of experts having to know everything, or looking to experts because they have all the answers, seems to be shifting. It's more about your own experiences coming through here. Things aren't going to be able to be put on a global scale anymore, a one-size-fits-all box. It's going to be more of an individual, moment-by-moment not assessment. What is my word? It's going to be more of an individual aspect of kind of navigating through life, right? It's an individual experience. It's experiential knowledge. So let's see what this Six of Swords is. This is the opportunity. So then what clarifies this Knight of Pentacles is that things are moving forward. May have taken a while to get here, but they are, it's been at a slow pace, but they're moving forward. There's change. Change is imminent. So let's see what the Six of Swords is. We have the Knight of Cups, we have the Four of Swords, and we have the Nine of Cups. Okay, I got two different themes going on here. For some of you, this is about, as I said, you're dealing with the cycle of life. This could be about, you know, now you are in a position where you're either taking care of an aging parent, or you are, you know, this could have been about a lifelong family pet, or this could be about taking care of somebody with special needs. For others of you, this could be about a situation of somebody in your past coming back in pretty fast. And maybe it's kind of, you were going along fine, and all of a sudden this kind of stirred up a lot of emotions real quickly. And for your opportunity, you got the Knight of Cups, the Four of Swords, and the Nine of Cups. So this could have been something that you walked away from that is now circling itself back around. There's an apology coming in, and I think this apology for you is going to be very healing and kind of like almost an affirmation. For others of you who are in this situation with the cycle of life, I think that this transition seems to be somewhat of a relief. It's almost like a gift. I always see this meme that says, for someone's departure, it's sadness for on one side of the veil, but on the other side, it's a reunion. I love that when I read that, especially because we deal with so much grief and sadness when we're out of the physical vessels here. But it's going to bring a lot of healing. And I mean, I just see setting free. 9 of Cups, just being set free. Bliss, happiness. So let's find out what this Two of Swords is then. This is what the universe is working on with you, because there are things going on behind the scenes that you don't see. And aren't supposed to be. I mean, if you are, you know, obviously you're here listening to tarot, so you believe in the other side of the veil. But there could be things going on the other side of the veil that you don't know about. So let's see what this is. Clarify what the Two of Swords is. We got the Eight of Cups. We have Justice. It's in reverse. And we have the Eight of Wands in reverse. So I think because this situation brings up where you can't really see what's going on, it feels somewhat of like an injustice. When, you know, it's like somebody leaves their physicality and they go someplace else, and it's like there's no clarity or understanding. It's just kind of seems to be like it's an odd cycle, like the cycle of life, this whole death and rebirth thing. And I think it comes without explanation. It's like it's not supposed to be known, right? You can't see it. It's not supposed to be known. But it brings up a lot of emotion. And it brings up a lot of feelings that I don't think that are either suppressed or that we're really not used to dealing with, especially when it comes to things that we don't know or have to have trust or have faith in. And for those of you going through this situation with somebody that might be coming back into your life, again, it's the same situation. There are things going on behind the scenes that you're not aware of. And I guess the message here is this is not about justice, and it's not about karma, and it's not about there's a bigger picture here. That's just all I can tell you. There's a bigger picture here, and it has to do with moving through your spiritual journey. That although these things are happening on the outside, if you're making judgment calls or you're putting things in perspective or you're trying to figure things out or you're trying to rationalize or you're trying to, you know, karma and cause and effect and all these types of things, both people are going through different aspects of a spiritual journey. Because I think a lot of times when you label things, especially if it's to do with relationship or, you know, someone coming back to apologize or, you know, walking away and coming back and walking away and coming back, that is that cause and effect and runner-chaser syndrome as well. If this is something that patterns and cycles itself through all the time, you're here, you're not, you're gone, you're there. In some sort of way, shape, or form, there's something going on behind the scenes that you're not clear of. I think this, like, affects you. It really affects you, and it pulls on your emotions, but there's something here that you need to go with the feelings of this, because if it leaves you in a experiential knowledge, if it leaves you in a place where you're constantly feeling abandoned and left behind, then that's what determines your participation in it, right? That's what's going to determine your participation in it. Because you've got the cycles and patterns down here. This is the cycle of life. So this might be looping itself around because there's a message that you're missing about cause and effect and about the runner, chaser, push, pull. And this is about a bigger picture of being able to understand the feelings behind whatever this person is bringing into your experience. That's what needs to be healed. That's what needs to be addressed. That's what needs to come out in awareness. It could have something to do with family dynamics. It could have something to do with, something from the past. Doesn't necessarily have to be within the family. It could just have been, experiences in kindergarten, experiences in grade school, experiences in middle school, experiences in high school, friends, relatives, any kind of influences. And I think for those of you that are going through this experience of caring for somebody who is transitioning, this is an experience that is going to take you on an emotional journey. And you're going to understand cause and effect differently than you have maybe in the past. I think you're going to be able to communicate or articulate how you see justice moving forward from an experiential knowledge. This is a deep reading. But it's going to really open up your perspective on what unconditional love really means. And the labels are going to be taken off. Because for whoever this is for, whether this is for a relationship returning, an apology coming in, or for somebody transitioning in a different direction, the new beginning is not here in this 3D realm. But there is a new beginning or a newfound freedom for somebody. So let's keep going with this. How you got here. So we got the Wheel of Fortune. We got Judgment, Life Review, Awakening. We have Six of Wands. And we have the Four of Cups. Well, I mean, this cycle of life, this cycle that people go through, it brings both victory and it brings both, like, what the hell's going on? Right? Sitting here trying to figure it out. It brings both. But this is part of the path. Judgment. It's part of becoming aware of yourself, your reactions to certain things that show up in your life. It's part of the awakening process. That's what the cycle of life is, right? And sometimes things will keep coming back into your sphere or into your experience until the light bulb goes off. And then you start seeing it and you start seeing your participation in it. So if there's a relationship that keeps recycling itself through, it's able to recycle itself through because of your participation in it. So that's what needs to be explored here. And for those of you that are with somebody who's going through a life transition, or you're dealing, you're taking care of a special needs child, or, there are days of feeling a victory, and there are days where you're feeling like, what the fuck is this? Like, why am I in this? And that, again, is part of the process of the human experience, and seeing things from a global perspective. That there are things going on behind the scenes that we will never know and just have to accept. But for either experience here that's going through this, it is definitely going to open up your notion of what unconditional love should look like. And the blame game or the judgment game or the whole idea of like, why does this have to happen and why is this going on, that's gonna like open up farther for you, or it's not gonna make sense from like a rational theory. It's going to make sense from an emotional experience. So let's get some information on what's right around the corner here coming in for you. Virgos, you had the new moon last night, and boy, you're laying it on in this reading. Oh, it's a lot. It's all right, though. So, with the King of Cups, we have the Nine of Swords. This is unknown territory. It's going to be different. We have the Nine of Cups. Again, you have the two extremes of emotions, right? And, you know, when you're thinking about justice, cause and effect, it's very linear. So, you either, you know, you've got fear or you've got love. Which one are you going to choose? You got fear or you got love? Which one are you going to choose? And it brings back that polarity of having to blend everything together. That the reason that there is fear is so that you can experience love. Again, it's part of the spiritual journey. There it is again. You got it twice. You got it in what the universe is showing you, and you got it down here. It is part of the spiritual journey. It's part of experiential knowledge. Wisdom. Experiential wisdom. And that's the polarity between there's fear, but there's also love. And then they're kind of blended together, because without one or the other, you wouldn't know the other. So without darkness, we don't know what sun would be. They complement each other, right? We wouldn't know the sun if we didn't have darkness. So they complement each other. And so this cycle of life, death, rebirth, it complements each other, even though we don't understand it from a 3D perspective. But it is a very isolating experience, because it's your own feelings that you're feeling through this experience. No one else can have the same emotional experience as you, regardless of how many situations have, you know, relationships of people leaving and then coming back and apologizing and leaving and coming back. I mean, there's so many millions of individuals out there that are experiencing that type of relationship, the in and out and, you know, up and down and push and pull. Yet each person or each individual, although the experience is kind of one and the same, the experiential knowledge gained is different for everybody. If that makes sense. So let's see what the Fool is. These are the outside influences. This is just surrender. Surrender, facing your fears. We got the Nine of Pentacles. This is about being true to yourself. But I think that people, again, you got the Nine of Pentacles and the Eight of Swords. You could not have two more diverse energies, right? Nine of Pentacles, self-confident, self-assured, standing in your truth. And then you got the Eight of Swords, a what-if card. Well, what if this happens? Well, what if that happens? Not measuring up, false sense of security coming in through here. So for those of you that maybe, you know, somebody came back in from the past, that came in to apologize. For some of you, maybe outside viewers see you as this is a false sense of security, that you're being foolish, you're taking a risk that you shouldn't be taking. Yeah, we got the Hanged Man, that you could be stuck in some sort of pattern or illusion. That's the outside influences coming in that are affecting this situation. For others of you that may be, you know, going through this transitional life cycle, there's two different huge themes going on here. You know, this is about surrendering to what's going on. People see you as kind of surrendering to what's going on. Some days you're with a lot of confidence, some days you aren't. Some days you need someone to help pick you up. You might be cocooning a little bit in your own little world, because, you know, that's a lot of energy that you're contending with. It is a lot of energy. So let's find out what the moon is. This is your next steps. We got the Ace of Swords. We got the Ace of Cups. Well, new beginnings. And we have the Page of Pentacles. So, in this phase, the next steps, these are going to be revealed. But the only way through, or the only way to get them to reveal themselves, you got to go in to come out, right? Standing in your truth. Authentic truth is going to be revealed. Ace of Cups, brand new beginning in love, is going to be revealed. But this is like a core love, right? This is that unconditional love. These are things within you that you are going through this experience because these are the things that want to come out. The truth, unconditional love. This is where you change the trajectory of your life and you start learning something new. And this is what leads you to your solid foundation. Moving forward, what's going to go the distance for you. So if this is a relationship coming back in, again, you are going through an experience of what you need to see that is in you. This teacher, this person is bringing up something unresolved within you that you need to see, right? Because deep within inside of you, and no one can do this for you, or I can't sit here and tell you this is how it goes, or this is how you're going to get there, or this, because that's not, this is for you. You are here to understand yourself. And that's what this is going to bring forward. It's going to bring, the truth is in you. There's unconditional love in you that you haven't even tapped into yet. And there's things that you have not learned that are ready to come out. This is about self-discovery. And for those of you that are going through this life cycle, this life change with, you know, maybe be taking care of a older adult or somebody who's in transition phase, or, you know, whether you just went through this with a pet, or you're going, you know, you have a special needs situation where you're the caregiver, or you're, you know, helping and assisting in that process. There's a lot of emotions that you're going through, and a lot of things that you don't know that's going on behind the scenes in this individual. And this is really bringing you also to a place of things inside you, of understanding your significant truth, the truth of, like, all things are connected, and bringing you more to that global core essence of love, where you're really, this is going to bring you, you know, new experiences, new trajectories, you're going to learn new things. It's like opening up to experiences that you've probably not tapped into before. And ways of thinking and being that you have not tapped into before. And just the acceptance of some things we're just not meant to know yet. But we will. So in the extended, wow, okay, we've got, oh boy, Pisces and Cancer showing up here. Pisces again. We've got Cancer, I believe that is. Yep, Cancer showing up here. We got Judgment, that's Scorpio coming in. And we've got the World, that's Aquarius. So Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Aquarius. I think that's it. That's coming through. Libra. Yep. So I will look at those in the extended, find out the intentions of those signs. Remember, they could be background players as well. And we'll also get actions and advice for you, diving in a little deeper into this message. For those of you that are not going on, I'm going to pull a card from the Arcana Astrology Oracle deck. Well, I've got Cancer and I've got Vesta. So let's see what that's all about. 2 wanted to pop out here for you, Virgo. Cancer, the crab. Planetary ruler is the moon, and the element is water. You had a lot of moon and water signs coming through in this reading. Your symbols are shells, pearls, moonstone, willow, and sand. Where Cancer appears in our natal chart is where our nurturing instincts manifest. The goal of this sign is for things to be just right, as she is largely connected to the wounds of the past. Mothering and caring for that old pain is an integral part of Cancer's purpose in our lifetime. The crab asks that you molt from your shell and be vulnerable in the realm of emotions. It's okay to bring your armor with you in case you need to retreat, but taking those first steps is important to your growth. Self-care is more than just working on your exterior. It takes vulnerability and creativity. The path to tranquility is not a straight line. Sometimes you need to take a few steps to the side and observe your feelings or the feelings of others. Just resist the urge to act on the offensive. Lashing out may feel like self-preservation, but you'll end up hurting the people that you care about. So your key words here are nurturing, mothering, protecting, tender, receptive, moody, grudges, and smothering. And then let's combine that with Vesta. I think that's an asteroid. It's the Keeper. Vesta in astrology is the Roman goddess of the home and the hearth, and her worshippers were known as the Vestal Virgins, for she swore her devotion to the flame. Vesta and her sisters were swallowed by their father, who was worried they would usurp his power. Upon being freed, Vesta swore she would never be trapped by a man again, so she took a vow of chastity and created a perfect idea of home. In astrology, Vesta represents a higher calling within ourselves. We all have the potential for complete service and devotion, and this asteroid points to where that lives in our chart. This area can be intensely private because we fear contamination in the form of other people's thoughts and feelings. But ironically, this can make us very judgmental to the way others do things, and we consider our system of doing things correct, and any dissenter is instantly labeled wrong. In a reading, right now, it's all about you and reconnecting to your passion. Where does your spark of inspiration reside, and how can you turn it into a roaring fire? Sometimes we feel that the initial urge to create, but we don't know how to direct productivity. Vesta grants us the gift of focus. Everything is falling into place, and we will continue to do so as long as we stay genuine in our desires. You may be asked to give something up in exchange for getting what you want. How much are you willing to sacrifice? Follow your instincts and your intuition, and choice will be easy. Once you make this decision, you have to give it 110% and see it all the way through. Your keywords are nurturing warmth, focus, devotion, tending, and sacrifice. So, however that resonates with you, Virgos, I hope this helped. Until next time, may the peace that passes all understanding envelope the essence of your being. And for those of you that want to go on with me, the link is in the description box below. I'll see you over there. Bye-bye.